My name is Robert Christopher Wayne Weathers. I live at 3102 Center Hill Road, Acre, Mississippi, 38841. I am still under attack by Scientology. So let me explain what Scientology is. There are more than three dimensions. This is a fact. There are at least 11, 12. See string theory or calculus. There are four layers of three dimensions. So we have biology in these dimensions, extra dimensional biology. You can't see it while you are alive. It looks like inward expansion. Uh, Instead of expanding just outward only, we expand also inward. Call this the inverse. You can think of your third dimension. Everything we see in the third dimension is a shell for something else. There is a world inside of us. So we have biology here. We utilize this biology to have an afterlife. We also use it while we are among the living to process energy. When we consume or when we think or function properly, most of it is coming from extra dimensional biology. A lot of it is calling their chi or chakras, another word used to refer to extra dimensional biology. We have organs and tissues you can't see while you are alive. Extra dimensional biology. We utilize this biology to have an afterlife. So when we die, we live on. The human genome produces an 11-dimensional humanoid designed to live in outer space. We can fly. We have big heads and big torsos, little arms and big hands. We are ghastly or ghostly looking creatures. We also have a head covering and two horns that point straight up. We are Anunnaki. That is our bloodline. So Scientology is the practice of utilizing this extra dimensional biology before they die. They remove it from themselves. They utilize technology and techniques to turn it into upper dimensional vehicles, biologies in which they can drive through the upper dimension. They get one or more biologies out of their extra dimensions. So there are people with three or four aliens. That's what they create. Uh, these organisms are known as aliens. They look alien. They're basically humanoids that can fly through outer space, the upper dimension. Instead of saying extraterrestrial, we should say extra dimensional. They are all from Earth. Scientology is the practice of creating an alien, remote control alien, an extra dimensional organism in which they can drive dimensions. These people have been so criminal towards me, badly. They have committed millions of crimes against me: harassment, home invasion, or the deadly weapon. This technology also gives them the ability to drive other organisms that are not their own. They can drive humans, animals, insects, and worms in any dimension. They can drive third dimensional organisms. They utilize this technology to create a weapon. They call it war tech. Parasites that can be driven, worms with teeth, driven through the human body using remote control technology. Yes, they have bit me millions of times. Uh, some of these, most of these parasites they've attacked me with are extra dimensional. They are the extra dimensions of a parasite. They have them, a bunch of them. I want to say this: the easiest organism to drive. Worms are one of the easiest organisms to drive. So they call this driving another organism. They call it surrogate. They call these organisms surrogates. Some of these parasites are also third dimensional. I am sick. So they have removed most of my extra dimensional biology for surrogate making. They wanted to make a surrogate out of my extra dimension. They have used it for transplant purposes. So in the process of making your aliens, some of these biologies are going to be incomplete. They're not going to be able to function properly. You have to move organs ahead or leave organs behind so you can have a fully functioning biology. So they like to steal organs and tissues from other humans and other species in an attempt to make themselves whole. They take organs and tissues from other humans and other species such as reptiles, insects, and worms. They make various alien forms using human body parts. They make lizard people using lizard body parts. They make insectoids or bug people using bug body parts. They like to merge biologies together. Transplant specialists. That's what the world of Scientology is largely about. It's about cutting body parts off and then sticking them back together. This is where humans come, or this is where we learned about lizard people. Most of our knowledge has happened in about the last 80 years. It's the last 60 years humans have had possession of this technology on Earth. They've been doing it widespread. They've been letting everybody and their brother have an alien. Scientology does. You don't have to have you don't have to meet certain requirements, and they are weapons of mass destruction. Bringing an alien into an environment makes it harmful for that environment. Their biology functions differently, and they can hurt the environment, move things around. They become a danger. I'm being harassed again. One says it's a friend. No. For the last 13 years, I've had a hostile entity or hostile entities through Scientology. Some of them are government employees and some of them are civilians. I am bad sick. So they have removed most of my extra dimensions. They have filled me full of foreign objects and parasites. Yes, more and foreign objects. So they have objects in the extra dimensions, devices, technology, computers, um, weapons, and they have filled me full of these foreign objects. Some of them which have been removed, and some haven't. Some are stuck. So they driven these. It's a worm body part. It's a tendril. Uh, it's like a finger-like structures that hang off of worms. They're using them to create a weapon. They use them a lot for suture. Driven. Individual tendril can be driven. So they driven them down into my scalp and tied knots. I think they went through my skull and then put something on the back of them or tied knots so they can't come back through. I have a whole bunch of them on top of my head and other objects and gadgets. Yeah, now they're trying to claim that I've done something wrong. 13 years later, they say, well, you've done something wrong. So it somehow justifies their criminal behavior because they're also using the authorities. So Scientology has become an exploitation ring. If you have any kind of power or authority or influence or a job in which they desire to control, they may force you to assimilate. They may desire to control your behavior and use Scientology to do it. They force people to assimilate hive minds, or they force you to get implants and technology which can control your mind and your behavior. So I'm bad. This is also intellectual property theft. So the reason I got us forced to assimilate was out of attraction. They were attracted to my psychology, my ability to create and write literature. I'm also an author. I write literature for fun. I wrote Crazy Bird Comics, I wrote the Environmental Creation Agency or Environmental Control Agency. I wrote Divine Currency or Buffalo Dollars, Alien Bob, Bug Bob. I even invented holographic drafting. Other people probably did too, but it comes from my mind. almost like Microsoft shit, or just Iron Man shit. It probably came from Iron Man. I probably got it from Iron Man. I don't care that anybody used it. This is what I've been doing with social media a lot. I try to inspire people, help people gain ideas. I'm intelligent. I study the leading edge of technology, all fields of science, or I have in the past. And this has allowed me to talk to people about their trades, yes, their fields of study. Somehow, assimilation was I started hearing voices. It became apparent that people were invading my privacy. First, the voices came from my digital uh, devices, the radio, the television, even your phone service. People were standing there talking to me or staring out a window, staring through a window. It was a marketing company. Fast Company was one of the first people that made contact. They tried telling me what to do, how to do my job. Well, I was working for the military and the government and the Department of Justice, making less lethal technologies. They couldn't be there. They couldn't invade my privacy. It's against the law. Not only is it against the law, I mean, I told them to get away from me, to get out of here, to leave. And next thing I know, I'm getting hostile entities. The very same ones that are doing this to me, they started doing this to me 13 years ago. Scientology has enemies because of what they do to people. Forced assimilation. They take over people's lives. Surrogate making. They try to turn people into surrogates so they can control them. Yes, especially government agents, because they need their discipline. They need them to behave, to do what Scientology says to do. And then there's the human trafficking. They traffic people for sexual purposes and for organ donations. It's for experimentation and just for happy fun time, sexual activities. They do a lot too. Everybody wants to go to heaven. They kidnap people. So if you are of interest to them, they may kidnap you, force you to do what they want you to do. I've grown back to some extent. I'm still don't have nowhere near what I used to have when it comes to biology, life support. This is the same people who's been doing this since the 80s. There's a lot of newcomers that are doing this type of behavior also, as they invade our homes, invade our businesses, invade our privacy. So this technology, it alters the mind of the user. They implant devices, or there's other technology that implicates or uses uh, the entanglement property. I'll get into that next. This technology, it interfaces with our brain and central nervous system in all dimensions. Devices in their brains. Some of this technology is recording devices, so it records perception input, such as sight, hearing, smell, taste, touch. And some of it artificially stimulates brain and central nervous system tissue. So they can isolate individual memories, individual thought patterns. They can make you experience a memory that you once had, or they can put you in a thought pattern, stimulate thought patterns. They can force you to force energy through your brain tissue. and it has all kinds of dramatic effects. It also has a narcotic-like effect. So upon use, or when you first use the technology, you get an endorphin-like response because you're electrocuting your nerves. It hijacks the endorphin mechanism, endorphins. And then the longer the energy's there, it starts stimulating parts of your biology in which you normally use, such as your hormones, your growth hormone, your testosterone, your estrogen levels. They go up because they're being stimulated. Your glands and things are being stimulated. And then your neurochemistry. So neurochemicals such as dopamine, norepinephrine, and serotonin gets elevated by use of this technology. It has a narcotic-like effect upon the user. Plus, they're doing this while they are sleeping. So this technology allows them to drive their aliens while their eyes are closed or while they're sleeping. They lucid dream. And this also is very narcotic because you're getting your sleep chemicals, the chemicals that keep you asleep. Plus, they're conditioning to do body parts. They steal body parts from people. It's had a lot of influence uh, in the population politically. I was a political activist. I participated in politics a lot. One said, no, you're stupid, you're delusional. Another one, Scientology's victims. Yes, they have forced me into a hive mind. You're breaking the law. Get away from me and my family. And these people may have possession of your biology, and you're unaware. So there's an entanglement property between our third dimension and our inner dimensions. It's like you can't remove energy from our particles. The particle will be destroyed. And these extra dimensions lie within the energy itself. So it's not within the void these extra dimensions happen, it's within the energy itself. So you can't remove energy from these particles. The particle will be destroyed. So space time warps and conforms to ensure this doesn't happen. So if you lose an extra dimensional body part, no matter where you take it in the universe, you're still in it. And as it's leaving you, space time in between you and the removed body part shrinks to zero. It's like it doesn't want it to happen. So they have facilities on Earth that house extra dimensional biology. They like to remove biology, layers or brain tissue, central nervous system tissue, take it to a storage facility. This facility allows them to interface themselves to a computer system. They like to remove their brain stems, they call them Fonzas, and they take it to one of their facilities and they interface it into a computer system. This allows, first, it allows for communication. They communicate with each other using this technology. It also allows them to interact with each other in a digital landscape. And it also, yes, it gives them, they can drive their brainstem. You can drive individual brainstems, saying everything to the molecular transfer, if it has a molecular transfer. You get away from me, you're breaking the law. And science to deliver, this is one on one. They think they're going to do this and get away with it. They're premeditating my death.